Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Raila Odinga yesterday officially filed his petition at the Supreme Court of Kenya, challenging the election of William Samoei Arap Ruto as the president-elect of the Republic of Kenya. William Ruto and his team, alongside IEBC, have 4 days to respond to Raila Odinga's petition. I've gone through that petition, but one of the individuals who has caught my attention is none other than John Githongo. John Githongo is revealing details of the 56 hackers who were hired by William Ruto and his team to manipulate Form 34As. And if in case it's true that William Ruto and his team were able to hire 56 hackers who ended up manipulating the system, then as a country we must then agree that election in this country is meaningless. In this video, I want us to try and look at the details about these 56 hackers. Before we do that, in case you're watching the channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Now, let us begin. Let me just fix this, sorry. Let us begin. And I want to begin by asking you guys a simple question. I want to begin this video by asking you guys a very simple question. And my question is this. If you are given 3 names, the name of William Ruto, the name of Dennis Itumbi, and the name of John Githongo, and you are told to believe one of them with the truth, who would you believe? You have 3 names: William Ruto, Dennis Itumbi, and John Githongo. For me, I'd go with John Githongo because of his credibility. John Githongo has submitted an affidavit in support of Raila Odinga's presidential petition. In that affidavit, John Githongo, I'm just trying to get it. John Githongo is revealing that there were 56 individuals who were hired by Kenya Kwanza, and their role was specifically to hack the system, manipulate the results, and display them at the IEBC portal. According to John Githongo, UDA had a command center, and this command center received Form 34As directly from Kemskit. So basically it means that all the Kemskit, whether all or some, all those from Kemskit, you know, you go for an election, you cast your ballot, then they're counted, then results announced there, then they're supposed to take a photograph and submit it to the portal. So George Githongo is alleging that UDA had a command center, and this command center would receive directly Form 34As from Kemskit. So that when Form 34As transmits their data, they were not going to IEBC portal. They were headed straight to this command center. So once they are at that command center, then there were 56 hackers who then manipulated the forms, changing the figures. And once they have done that, then they upload them to the IEBC portal. Are you getting it? So the returning officer or the presiding officer at the polling station would announce the result, post it on Kemskit. That result would not go to IEBC server. The results would then go straight to UDA command center. Once they arrive there, they'll find people, 56 of them. These 56 people will manipulate the forms, change the figures, and once they are satisfied, then they will upload them into the portal. This team used to call themselves the team, and they had 10 supervisors. So it means that if there were 56 and we had 10, so basically there were 46 plus 10 supervisors. And Githongo is narrating that the informer narrated to him how the results were actually deducted from Raila Odinga and added to William Samoei Arap Ruto. And of course that happened. The hackers were operating a server which they were calling Uchaguzi 2022. So that's the server they were operating. So they'll receive the Form 34As from the field straight to Uchaguzi 2022. Then this server is where they'll do the editing and the rest before now uploading them into the IEBC server. Let me just take you through part of John Githongo's affidavit. John Githongo is saying, I, John Mark Githongo, a resident of Nairobi and an identity card number 71122561 and of P.O. Box that Nairobi, Republic of Kenya, do solemnly make oath and states as follows. So he's doing this under an oath. That's why I want to believe George Githongo. He's saying that I am a male adult. That's not important. That's not important. So he's saying that sometimes on or about 18th of August 2022, a young man was introduced to me by a colleague at Batian Hotel Suites located at Arguings Codex Road within Nairobi, and said that he had a matter of national importance he wished to discuss with me. That the young man was visibly tensed and frightened. That when asked, the young man gave me his name, his profession, place of business, and residence, information which he willingly provided. I am not able to disclose the said personal information in order to protect the safety and the security of the young man. However, I am ready and willing to give this information in full to the court in camera. Remember, I opined on this platform that there were going to be some IEBC officials who are going to be part and parcel of government witness. So I suspect this is one of them. And John Githongo is saying he's willing to give information in full. So probably he's even willing to produce this guy in court in full, or if there's any recording, he's willing. Because you know that in this country, if that will not happen, the gentleman is going to be mincemeat. He's going to die. And John Githongo is adding, very interesting, that upon inviting the young man to state the purpose of his visit, he revealed to me utterly shocking details of how, together with others, were involved in large-scale, well-orchestrated, fraudulent schemes that enabled them to interfere with and compromise IEBC electoral data transmission system and manipulate the presidential results, same in favor of respondent 9 to secure fraudulent win. So he's saying that this guy explained to him everything, how they planned, how they did this, and how they ensured that William Ruto was announced the winner. One thing which I'm still unable to understand is, with all these schemes, William Ruto was still just able to defeat Raila Odinga with 200,000 votes. Because remember, Uhuru Kenyatta defeated Raila Odinga in 2017 with 1.4 million votes. 1.4 million votes. Ruto, despite all this, still could not even reach 50% plus one. And I'm going to explain in my next video how that Okeya Mtata affidavit is the one which is going to save Raila Odinga. And Githongo is saying that the young man revealed to me in great details how the fraudulent scheme was implemented as follows. This is how they implemented this scheme. That he was a part of a team of 56 people who had been recruited to conduct a grand scheme to manipulate results in favor of the 9th respondent to ensure a fraudulent win by all means possible. I can confirm that there is a niece to Davis Chirchir who is working as an IT, who is basically a good IT wizard. This gentleman disappeared from work because someone told me that he had planned, he knew this guy was going to be recruited. This guy had left his station of work. He reported after the election. So probably that's also one of the guys here. Anybody who needs information about him, maybe we can give. I can ask the guy if he can provide, but that's not important. And he's saying that the 56-man team had 10 supervisors. He was one of the supervisors, while the other 46 people were accessing, entering, and manipulating the entry. So the guy we are talking about here is basically a gentleman who was part of this team. He was the supervisor, supervising another team. Then Githongo is saying their task was to receive the Form 34As from KEMS kits, which were sent to their server platform, which he called Uchaguzi, telling, having the pseudonym Uchaguzi 2022. After receiving the said data, they would edit the said forms 34As according to the instructions given to them by their leaders. Thereafter, upload the said edited form 31As to the IEBC portal. So that's how they were operating. They receive, you edit, you manipulate, you finish. Probably, remember the way the forms were printed, the way everything was under darkness can give room for this kind of manipulation. And it says, again, the task was to receive, that one after. Number D, that the said Form 34As would be received in JPEG, picture format, edited, and then uploaded in PDF format into the IEBC server. So which means, if you have a document submitted in a JPEG, which is a picture format, you can easily edit. That one you can easily edit. So that's what they were doing. Once they've edited, they've made those changes, because with that you can cross. Once those changes are made, then they are submitted to IEBC server using PDF format. So that's why the audit, forensic audit, is going to be important. And they are saying that number E, amongst the said other supervisors of this criminal enterprise were Davis Chirchir, Dennis Itumbi, Kepiegon, Maurice Mutegi, Baby Sarge, and Jackson Kandi. These were the people who were overseeing the rigging. I don't want to go beyond that, but I just have a few questions. The first question I have, where were the NIS all this time? Because if you look at the way this election was conducted, it seems clearly William Ruto started planning for it almost 3 years ago. From the company which won the tender to manipulating the IEBC staffs. Basically, I think IEBC is under the command of Ruto. And that's why in my next video, I'm going to explain why, if we go for a rerun, Raila is going to win. Yeah, because many people have asked me, because many people, based on the way Ruto is behaving, they believe that if a rerun is going to be occasioned by the petition, then Raila Odinga is going to be defeated. I'm going to explain to you why Raila Odinga is going to win that rerun. If William Ruto, with all this, could only win this election by 200,000 votes, and even those 200,000 votes are being forced. Now, that's the first question. Where were the NIS? Is it possible that NIS played UDA? They were recruited into this game, played their game, aided them in stealing, and later compiled the report which they submitted to Azimio through this gentleman. Is it possible? Because after doing all this, because this guy, for him to have been recruited and being part of this team, it means these guys had actually developed trust. So at what point did he leave? Was this guy part of NIS? And if NIS were not aware of this thing, this scheme, where are we as a country? The other question which I would want to ask is about the IEBC commissioners and the returning officers who are part of this plot. Where were they? I mean, what are we going to do about them? If indeed it will be proven that these guys participated in these illegal schemes, then can we trust these commissioners to manage our elections? What about the IEBC officers? Can we trust them if indeed, I'm not saying that this plot took place, but if indeed it took place, if indeed hackers gained access, and the truth of the matter is that if you follow John Githongo's affidavit, then there is also the affidavit by Wesonga giving the logs, how these people access the system. The truth of the matter is that Wafula Chebukati's account is the one which was used. Then it granted access to this team. So it was really not hacking, just granting these guys access to the back-end system of the IEBC. And that's how they were able. So the question is, what next for these IEBC staffs? And my last question, how did William Ruto manage, if indeed it's true, to take charge or control of IEBC? Because if all these things we are reading took place, the rigging schemes, if indeed it took place, how did William Ruto manage to take charge of IEBC? What about the other IEBC staffs? Because the truth is, even at IEBC, there are staffs who are loyal to Raila. There are those who are loyal to Ruto. How comes those who are loyal to Raila Odinga were not aware of this scheme? I don't know what you think. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Please don't forget to subscribe. Bye-bye.